Alright, let's get into it. So, this is what's wrong with the classical saxophone community. So, I have like this list right here, a bunch of stuff. It's just something for people to think about. Maybe it'll improve the community. So, there's this paradox. I listened to this audiobook on YouTube, and this guy, it was about the 21, I think, mantras of leadership, or how to be a good leader and stuff. And he talked about this paradox that I particularly found an interest to. And the paradox, he was talking about a good leader should be able to create more great leaders that will have the same skills as him or better. So if I was like a leader for, let's say, making headphones and making high quality headphones, and I was the CEO of that company, my job my focus would to develop at least 25 leaders that have the same skills as me or even better leadership skills than me. Develop that. And technically, if you develop people with those leadership skills, they could take your job because they have the same skills, the same leadership skills that you have because you taught them. And the thing is, people might fear for their job. The leader that created those people might fear for their job because their job can be taken. But actually, this is where the paradox comes in. The person that creates those leaders, their job is not in jeopardy at all. They are actually some of the top priority, some of the most important people in that company. Because if you're able to create leaders like yourself, if you're a great leader, that means that's a great asset to your company because now your company is filled with all these great leaders, and your product or whatever your goal or vision is just going to improve greatly because you have such a great leadership development in your company. And there's not enough leaders in America today or even in the world today. And if your company is filled with great leaders, they will shine and your job will not be in jeopardy. And I can apply this to the classical saxophone world since I know more about that than jazz saxophone and all the other aspects of saxophone. So here's the thing. There is barely any content on YouTube for classical saxophone. It's already a little bit of a niche community. There's just simply not enough free content on YouTube. And I went through this experience a lot. So I got some interest from listening for classical saxophone by listening like the Glasnoff and stuff. First thing I wanted to do is let me try to play this music. And luckily somebody had posted a recording with the sheet music on YouTube. And I would go in 9th grade and play. I would attempt to play through the whole song every day just from the YouTube because I couldn't really afford to buy the sheet music. And that was how I was learning Glasnoff. One day I was able to screenshot it all and print it out. And that's how Glasnoff's one of my favorite pieces. I'm working on it now as a freshman in college. And that I felt was beneficial. But then I'm like, how do I improve my tone? I go to YouTube. There's barely any videos about how to improve your tone, and it's like basic. Do long tones and do overtones and stuff. And of course, now that I look at that, the information's good, but it wasn't enough for a young person that knows nothing about how to practice, nothing about what long tones are. Why am I sitting in my chair for 30 minutes every afternoon after school just playing a note for long? How exactly do I shape my tone? How does long tones actually help help improve my tone? And I didn't really know what overtones were. I was just trying to squeak on the saxophone. How to play altissimo, is that on YouTube? Probably is now, but still, altissimo is a very complex thing, and there's not enough content about it. And the thing is, I feel like if there was a greater amount of free content on YouTube for classical saxophone, not even on YouTube, just available for the general public for free, then we would create more classical saxophone players. The community would grow a lot in size. More people would want to major in classical saxophone performance or music education with the emphasis in classical saxophone or composition or any musical degree with classical saxophone. And that will grow the community. And if there's more people, then more people will buy products, more people will buy music, more people will go study with professors that charge money. And the thing is, a lot of professors are probably going to say, like, well, we're trying to get money. We went to school for 10 years, and you got to know, I know my worth as a saxophonist. But, like, if you're not consistently producing exponentially more classical saxophonists, you're not going to get that money. You're just going to only have this small group of people making money. And you look at guitar, there's so much guitar content online for free. There's even sites with tab stuff with music. And the guitar community is so much bigger than the saxophone community. And it's so much more popular. And just look at all the content they have on YouTube. Same thing with some types of piano stuff. But I'm not going to dab into that because I don't know all the information. But I feel like if there's more tutorial guides, more how to buy a new saxophone, mouthpiece reviews, just more content overall, this community will grow. And a great thing, the thing that really sparked this was that the leadership audiobook I listened to, and also the saxophone Facebook studio masterclass thing during the pandemic in 2020 and through quarantine and stuff. All those free sessions that anybody could join on to with top professors around the world and experts on classical saxophone and music like that. That is a humongous resource to the saxophone community. And I'm glad it's on YouTube because some ninth grader, if they want to learn classical saxophone, they can look up all these great masterclass videos and they can learn stuff. They can just absorb all that knowledge. And I feel like there needs to be more. More money will be put into the saxophone community if there's more people participating in it. So I don't think professors should be afraid about putting their content out for free, because there's master classes, but there's a lot of missing details. There's a lot of missing blocks. How do you get? There needs to be detailed stuff on how to get to the next step for stuff. And another thing is, these videos got to be updated because these classical saxophonists in high school are getting so much better every single year. It's exponential. People are playing Dace and Clo, Fuzzy Bird, Albright. What else? All these extremely hard songs, Carnival of Venice, and they're still in high school. And the guys that are on YouTube are for like Crescent Sonata, and people are playing that in ninth grade. I played that in ninth grade, not very well, but I started that song in ninth grade. People are gonna start getting much better, and if we want the classical saxophone to evolve, we must teach and have freer content, more content. I'm not saying give out lessons for free all the time. I'm saying there just needs to be more stuff out there for people to look at. So let's see what else is next. And like, lessons are expensive. Sometimes you just need a quick guide, but lessons, people can really just be robbing your money and stuff. Like, we go to a lesson. For example, this guy, let's say his name's Juan. Juan goes to a lesson and he's playing a furling, and first 20 minutes of lesson just talking about like NBA game or something, or I don't know. I'm just gonna scrap that idea. The thing is, one of my favorite characters from Naruto, as you can see on the poster, he's not on the poster, but Rock Lee, this boy has no talent at all. He can't even perform half the stuff all these other ninjas were born with. But he worked harder than everybody. Everybody. Hard work beats talent. And there can be a kid that's working hard from these saxophone videos online, and then by the time they get to college, they're going to be pouring money into the saxophone community and saxophone gear and stuff because they had that backbone of knowledge when they were earlier. If I would have had the amount of knowledge I have now from YouTube videos when I was like in 9th or 10th grade, if I had enough content from like studying lessons and stuff that were on YouTube, I would be a much better player than I am now. I think most people would be much better. There needs to be a more. And this is why education is unequal. What? There's also this problem about there's so many classical saxophone DMAs and there's not enough jobs. If classical saxophone was more popular, more people would take it up in high school, more people would go play it in college, then there would be more professor jobs. So you want to get a stable job as a professor of classical saxophone? Put more content on YouTube. It's a good slippery slope. That doesn't make sense. It's a slope that goes up exponentially. It's like a business almost. You're just increasing the amount of people that can get you goods. And here's my little rant about Leger reeds. It took Leger so long just to get a case for the plastic reed, and they probably knew that was a problem. You just get this plastic reed and you break it, it's like $30. And it's easy to get cracks in and stuff. That case should have been out much longer ago. Where do I have this case? This should have been out at least 4 years ago. It's like a shame it took so long to get a case. And there's no competition for Leger. Everybody knows Leger is the best plastic reeds, and they're not going to improve the reed to like cane reeds because everybody knows the best cane reed always beats a Leger reed, but Leger is consistent. How about we demand that Leger ups their quality of these reeds? They should be working to make them break less often. They should be working to make them sound like the best cane reeds. Because cane reeds are an inconvenience. They're poorly made most of the time, unreliable, and it's just bad. I shouldn't need 3 boxes of cane reeds and they barely work most of the time. Leger is consistent. I do play on Legers also. I play on cane and Legers. And I bet if Leger could just make their reeds better than cane reeds, that's just like a upgrade in the saxophone community. It'd just be a universal thing. Everybody would get it, and that's important. And I feel like all these other plastic reed companies don't even come close. So there's no competition, so the product is not going to improve faster. So we should probably like put pressure, maybe boycott Leger until they make something better. I don't know, but here's my thoughts. Leave your thoughts in the comment section or something. Subscribe because I'm trying to get that money. Like because I'm trying to get that money. Share because I'm trying to get that money. Because you know I'm at college and I got reeds. And I'm trying to pour more money in the saxophone community so I can get that money. Yeah, I'm out.